I am Eric Russell, and I'm out and about today at MCC Church here in Richmond with singing sensation Jason and DeMarco.
Hello.
How are you guys doing today?
Great. Had a good morning.
Beautiful sunny morning.
Here in Richmond?
Richmond,
Virginia. This is not your first time here, though.
No.
You've been in Richmond how many times?
I don't even know how many.
Four.
Four times?
Probably at least four, and I had come before we were traveling together. So it's we try to probably every other year. Although this year, we were here the same exact weekend last year.
Did we come around Valentine's Day?
Yeah.
To spread all the love.
To spread the love.
I was talking with some of the other people who had been members for a while, and the first time you came here, they were talking about they pulled up a collection for your very first album.
Oh, yeah.
To get you all started. Can you talk about that very first album, what that was like?
It was Songs for the Spirit, which is our traditional hymns album. And when we started traveling together, we actually, when we met, we were planning on, we wanted to do pop music. So it was a really unplanned album, but we had so many people that had asked us to do a hymns album that we said, okay, well, if people are willing to put the funds up to do it, then we'll do it. And it's probably been one of our biggest sellers and favorites, just because it was just piano and vocals, so people rarely got to hear the tight harmonies.
You've been listed as like doing spiritual pop and such. As people of faith, where do you see your music in your audience and going, and how have you reached out to them?
I think, for us, I think we just believe that music is a universal language. So we've never called our music any specific type. Although we've gotten labeled Christian music or spiritual music, we've always left it very open that our music is music with a positive message. There's a lot of artists out there that I think are similar. You have U2 that does a lot of songs with messages, Sting, India, Ree. And I think that's kind of the direction we've tried taking, over the last few years, is to really create music where we can go into multiple venues regardless of where it is, even down to, some of our songs have been redone into remixes. And so we've been able to go into the gay clubs and, even perform there.
I know this morning, Urban Rob was talking about salt and stuff, and I found your music really be flavorful. Okay. You hear all this songs that are just kind of cranked out, and they all sound the same. This morning I was like, wow, like a little 3-second wow moment going on. Really music that had feeling behind it and just true flavor. You could feel it, you could hear it.
Well, I think with us, we've always said it's not what we're singing, the style of what we're singing, it's our vocals are our signature. So with the harmonies, so really whatever we're singing, people hear our harmonies and that's like, oh, that's Jason and DeMarco. And so that's kind of cool.
Your new album, Safe, how is it different from your very first album?
Safe, really, we kind of approached it as a less is more in terms of the way it was produced. So all live instruments, all really bare, so we could kind of showcase a little bit more of each individual musical artist, musician in the songs. And we did things that are kind of old-fashioned a little bit, like using old ribbon microphones and hanging microphones in the room to capture the whole, the liveness.
You guys got married in California. Was it before or after Prop 8?
Before.
Before Prop 8.
And that's why we kind of rushed it. We knew we had a window, so we had a civil ceremony in LA, and we did a little cocktail reception at the restaurant that we met. But then that was in August of 2008, and we finally just had our ceremony in May of 2010. So it took us, almost 2 years to actually have the ceremony.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Talk about your new nonprofit called Safe, and that's in Texas. Because you were talking about you were called from LA to Texas to do this project. Can you talk about it?
Sure. Well, over the years of us doing what we've done, we've gotten so many emails from so many ages. I always say it's the 13-year-olds are telling us how they're trying to come out to their parents, and the 93-year-olds are trying to tell us how they're going to come out to their kids. And so that whole spectrum has been there. But the youth has always been youth and young adults. I've always really had a heart for youth and young adults. I worked in youth camps growing up. I traveled around and did a lot of concerts and work with youth in churches. And so, obviously, GLBT youth, it's been such a huge part of our hearts because of what I particularly have been through and what he's been through. So last year, finally, an incident happened where one of the young guys that had been emailing with me took his life. And it was really at that point where I thought, we've got to do something, because as many resources as I've been able to forward them to, like hotlines, they're more emotional support. There's been so few physical places to send, these kids or young adults. And I just said, we have to do something. And so we started a nonprofit called SAFE, and it's an acronym for Safe Affirming Family Environment. And the initial phase of it is we just opened a drop-in and resource center. So we're working with youth 13 to 24 years of age, youth and young adults. Those young adults, 18 years of age and older, we are establishing safe houses. And a safe house is just any adult that goes through our background checks, our training, that has an extra bedroom that's willing to offer a young adult transitional housing to help them get on their feet. That can be 3 months to a year. And through that time, the young adult's going to counseling, they're learning life skills, coaching, all of that type of thing. For those youth under 18 years of age, what we're working on is trying to establish foster homes that are gay-friendly. So it's basically anyone that's interested in adopting or fostering GLBT or questioning youth. And we're actually working with CPS with Child Protective Services so that they know we're available, that if they come into contact with a foster child that is in this situation, they contact us, and then we refer them to the family that we've established. So we're not a foster agency ourselves, we're more of a connector. We're a resource and connecting agency where we're connecting different demographics with people that are willing to help them through their situation.
Yeah, because with your coming out experience, you literally were put off the bus.
Yeah, I was thrown off the bus. I ended up homeless for a couple months and was couch surfing from friends to friends' houses. And I was fortunate enough that a man that had an HIV agency, he said, if you work in our office, you can do that in lieu of your rent. And so he gave me an apartment on property, and I stayed in the apartment. And within 4 months, I had 2 jobs. I was able to save enough money up, and that's when I really I had the money, and I said, now what? And I moved to Nashville, and that's really where everything, my life really took off. But had I not had that opportunity to live somewhere for free when I was broke, I don't know what would have happened.
For people in the community who might have lost their faith because they had a bad experience at their church or either with family members and stuff, what's something that could bring them back, or a message to them that they can find acceptance? Or
I would say don't blame it on God, because I'm sure Jesus himself, if he walked into some sanctuaries, would not feel welcome. And also just do your homework. There's so much great literature, so many great books written about how the scriptures have been misinterpreted and used against our community because of an agenda. And so people just need to be reminded that they are loved and that they were created by God even before they were born and were known as that. And people just need to, I would invite them to just give God a second chance in their life.
Well, and also, church, I think organized religion, especially in the younger generation, it's just becoming less and less what it's about. And I would say to people, it's not about going to church. I think what it's about, and what church has always been about for me, is having a community. So wherever you find that community, and I think we're all on a path, and I think we're all on a spiritual path. We always say we're spiritual beings having a human experience. And so I don't think you need a church or you need a religious religion even per se. I just think no one should ever rob you of your spirituality. And searching your spirituality and what that means to you is a personal path. And I think when you have a community to share that with, it's a really special thing. And whatever that looks like, maybe a coffee house where you go and you just talk with people about things. It doesn't have to be church. And so I would encourage people to just follow their path, or at least seek. It says, seek and ye shall find.
Guys, this has been absolutely wonderful. Thank you for taking this time. If people want to contact you or find out more about Jason DeMarco or find out about SAFE, how can they do that?
Well, jasonanddemarco.com is our website, so it's real easy, and it's A-N-D, so it's jasonanddemarco.com. And then if you go to that, you'll see the links for SAFE. But SAFE is Safe House for All, and that's all spelled out as well, F-O-R. So
.org.
Safehouseforall.org.
And do y'all Facebook and Twitter?
Yep. Yeah, we're on everything out there.
Okay. Once again, guys, this is great. Have a wonderful concert tonight over at the Community Center, and thank you for doing this again.
Thanks, and we'll celebrate love.
Celebrate love. It's the Weekend of Love.
Weekend of Love.
Well, I'm Eric Russell, and this has been Out and About with Jason and DeMarco. You never know where I'll turn up next, so check in and find out.
Bye.
Bye.